So now let's try to understand collection in Blue Prism. So as I said, this is another type of data item for storing variables, but this is a two-dimensional variable. Okay. So in this example, what we are going to do is we are going to load this data into collection, and we'll loop through and get the counter of analyst in the company. So there is a name and role in the company, and I'll get the count of the analyst. Okay. So okay, this sheet name is roles. Okay, great. Now let me name the collection as call underscore user data. Okay. So here actually you can add the fields and columns, like say now here we have name and role in company, no? So if I would have created this, like if I just manually create that whole collection, whole data here, I can do that. I will have to first set like something like this, name, and then text, and then let's say role, sorry, role text. Okay. And then I can go to initial value, add. So I can add the first one, John Smith, and a list, right? So I actually can set the whole data here. I mean, at some times if you have a static values, a static collection, you can actually add it here directly like this. Okay. But anyways, we don't want to do that. What we want to do is we want to read the value from the Excel to this collection. Okay. So this is the first thing. We created a collection, and as I said, right, let me add a block saying local variables. Okay. Now first, so what we are going to do is first we'll have to uh, read the data from the Excel, correct? So for that we will use the Excel VBO. So to call the VBO, we'll use action. So first thing we have to do is get an instance. So we'll create an instance. Okay. Excel instance. Okay. So now go to, sorry, where is the Excel VBO? Yeah, MS Excel VBO. And then I say create instance. Okay. Now this so if you want to see what each of these variables mean, so if you highlight, focus on the variable, you can read what actually it does. It says flag to indicate that event should be enabled or disabled. So for during automation, it is better to keep this flag false. What it helps is it will actually, so sometime when you open an Excel, some pop-ups come, no, say that you want to enable this, and sometime some other pop-ups might appear whenever you try to open an Excel, right? So it will avoid this. Otherwise what will happen, your automation will get stuck if there is a pop-up. So if you make it false, no such events will open up. Okay. uh, now now this is action, like we are calling the VBO, right? So anyways, during our VBO transition, I mean training, we'll understand more on this, but just to give an idea, so basically if you see, there are three tabs, right? So let's focus on the first two. So first is the inputs. So this is the value which we are passing to that VBO. So I'm passing enable events as false in the VBO, and it is returning back a handler to me. Okay. So now here if you see, I don't have any variable with the handler, right? But I can create the variable handle variable, okay, which is a number. And can you see a small button here, right, which says click here to automatically create a data item? So like this also we can create a data item. Okay, so it got created. See, so first we did is we created an instance. Let me just copy paste, Now what we are going to do is we are going to open a workbook. Okay. Okay, so we will do a open workbook. So if I go and do open, so I'll do an open workbook, right? So first thing it is asking me is to pass the handle. Okay, and second thing is the file name, which we would like to open. So our file name is nothing but, we already know, is this one, right? So I can copy as path, go back here, paste. So I just pasted the whole path of the user collection. Okay, open workbook, and then it will return me a workbook. So same way I can actually create a new variable, text workbook. Okay, and click on this button, so it will create that workbook for me. So the workbook got created, right? Now what we are going to do is we are going to read. Okay, now we are going to read the workbook. Read data from Excel. Okay, so we are going to read this whole data from the sheet name roles. Okay, so it will be actually not read, but there's something called get worksheet as collection. Okay, so what you do is, okay, first is the handler, second is the workbook name. So we had workbook name. Now worksheet name, we already know it is roles, right? Fetch this actually fetch data with method. This new I'm seeing in 7.1, but this mostly looks like that you want to read the value or the formula or any other thing, right? So when you copy, actually you can copy a formula, you can copy the real value also, right? So it's something like that, but anyways, I think the default one is the value. Okay, so I think we're good. We have to get the value only, there's no formula. And then whatever we read, we have to set it to a collection called collection user data. Okay, and then we are going to first close the workbook. So close workbook, close workbook. Okay, so I just give what the handler is and the workbook name is, and since I'm not writing anything, so I can just make the save data as false. Okay, there's nothing as the output, and then I'll close the instance. Okay, close the instance, same way it will be here. Yeah, close instance. Here again I'll make it false because I don't want to save anything, there is no output. Okay, fine. Now if we do just like this, what will happen is it will run at the backend, and I'll close the Excel. So the data will not be visible, okay, to me, because it will run in the backend. Okay, now let's say I want to see the Excel opening. Then what we'll do is we'll use something called show. This will make sure that the we make sure that the Excel is visible when it is reading the data. Okay, so we'll see. Otherwise, if we don't give that show, the Excel will open in the background, and then into the data gets collected in the background itself. Okay, so again, now I want to just test it. Let's for testing purpose, let's run it. Right, so as I said, set next stage. Now next, next, show. So you see, you can see the Excel now. Okay, now read data from Excel, close workbook, close instance. Now if you see, it's showing, actually if you see here itself, right, it shows the number of rows, row 1 to 996. So why there are 996? So you go to current value to see. So this is the current value. Okay. On the fly, you should see the data in the current value. Okay. So here you see there are a lot of blank rows. Okay. So let's say I want to get rid of this blank rows because my data is only in this 7 rows. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use another action, but this is with the collection. This is a collection, right? So there is a VBO for collection manipulation. So it handles data from collection. And what we are going to do is we're going to remove empty rows. Okay. So yeah. And then I'll mention the collection in the input. So because the empty rows has to be removed from here, and in the output again I'll map it to the same collection because I want to read the data back into this collection. Okay, now done. Now the same way, now to test it we can just run this stage itself, set next stage. So see, you got back the 7 rows, the empty rows got removed. Okay, now what we'll do is, so till now we have read the data. Now we have to add a loop. So now we'll see how a loop will work. So now, now see, the since I have a collection, so it is showing me collection user data. Now you might have a question that there are two collection visible, one is disabled. The reason being, okay, loop, let's say user data. So that's because I had created the similar flow here, and there is a collection user data here. That's why it was showing. But since it is a local, so it is showing, but it is not accessible because it is set as hide from other pages. Okay. Okay, good. So now we are in the loop. What we are going to, so this is the another loop which we are seeing. We saw the previously the other loop. Okay, the counter loop, and this is the loop stage we are using. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to check if, so let me add a counter. Let's say I want to get a counter and it is an R and a list count. Okay, so I want to get the analyst count. Let me set it to 0. Fine. Now my condition is, so what is the condition actually? That my role in company should be analyst, right? So for that case, so how do you do is role analyst. Okay, so how do we know, so this is a way of accessing the whole collection, but if I have to add access a column of a collection, then this is how I'm going to do. Role in company, so this is collection underscore user data dot role in collection, and then I will say let me do use one of this. So we will anyways cover this, but just to show you one of it. So this is an inbuilt function. So what, so okay, so it says that get the starting point of subsection of text. So basically it actually tries to, let's say, as it has given some example also, like in string example MP, so it gives a result 4. So the same we can actually use to find out if analyst text. So I have put the this is the data from or this is the column value from where we are going to read, right? So this is the text, right? Don't worry, we'll cover this. Okay, and then we'll cover this later in our to understand it better. In the search text, I write an list. Okay, analyst. Um, okay, and then yeah. So what it will do is it will give me some number if analyst exists, right? So this is the analyst. So let me put the exact name. Sorry, this I have to give inverted quotes. Yeah. So now I can paste it. So this is how it looks like. So it is greater than 0. So if the analyst is not there, so we can test it also. Let's say role in company is analyst, it will give true. Let's say I give business analyst, it's true. But let me give, try something else like medical engineer. Medical engineer, false, right? The reason being that is 0. So just to show you, let me remove this. Okay, and then try. Now you see I get number 1, but if I give medical representative or something, so number gets 0, right? So that's how it works. Like if the value is not present, then it will be 0. If it is present, then it will be some number greater than 0, right? So that's why I'm checking if it is greater than 0. Okay, so if it is greater than 0, that means there is a text called analyst present at least. So it can be business analyst or analyst, but at least the text analyst will be present, right? And if it is present, then I'm going to increment my count. So I will do analyst plus 1, right? So like this. Now the loop will be something like, is analyst present? When it goes here, else it will go here, and then it will, to continue the loop, you just have to connect back to the collection. So this will automatically take care of the loop. Okay, the loop will take care of that, it will revolve around, and then I will finish. Once it is done, I will end it. Okay, now we ran till this, right? Remove empty collection. So let's see another way. Now I set stage here because my collection is ready. Okay, and then I run. So I run to this stage, so it will just go on running. Okay, so if I do run to this stage, you will see, oh sorry, I think I didn't give the value parameter. That's what it says. Yes, it's correct. So I didn't add this, so where to set to. Okay, now again let me continue. Okay, I have to reset it. Sorry, I have to again run it because okay, there was an error. So fine, let us start running it. There is some error. Okay, let me delete this page. Okay, no error. This is that, the other one is warning, so that's okay. So now let's set next stage and first run until here. Run to this stage. So let it run. Done. Again we got back those 4 rows. Sorry, 7 rows. Now we will try to run until the end. Okay, run to this stage. Oh, it's done. Oh, I think I made it fast, that's why. Okay, but it actually looped through it. Okay, and if you see, the analyst count is 2. Okay, if you want to see in a slower way, let's run it like this. Set next stage. The first portion, let me make it fast so that it doesn't take much time. Okay, fine. And then next one, let me make it normal. and then again run to this stage. So this is one count. This is the second count. And it's done, right? The same thing we got to add a list. So I hope it's clear how to create collection, how to use collection, how to loop through collection. Okay, and also we got a basic idea of how to call object and how to pass values to an object. But anyways, when we understand, we'll go through the object studio. We'll also show you how the values are getting passed and how it is returned back. So just hold on for the next session. Okay, so these are the details. So what we covered is we covered the data item collection, calculation, and decision, these stages, and the action stage, and we understood what is a environment variable and session variable. Hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you everyone for watching. Please subscribe our channel for more videos. Take care. Bye bye.